Okay, this is like the third time I've been trying to do this. It's not very much fun, effectively, as I'm trying to do this because it is not cooperating. It is a bad deal because it doesn't want to show certain stuff. So I'm trying to explain something and it doesn't want to cooperate respective to the situation. So what we're going to do is look at this situation and see what we can come up with, because what I wanted to show you isn't happening right now. So
our governor have completely failed in that nothing was happening in the beginning. It was allowed to spiral out of control, and then
okay, so right. See, now we're at this video here again. So what I wanted to show you was what this thing does when you basically do stuff. So when you do it this way, it comes down here. It shows up for the channel, and you see all this stuff. Gives you massive amount, and it also brings this no kings event image. Okay, now, so you go through all this, and it just keeps going on and on and on and on. It's truly massive. It's just truly massive. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. Now, when you look at the different types of number of views, you look at the numbers, 5.6K. But over here, it's 194. Over here, it's 11 months ago, it's 49 views, 24 views, 3.2K, 47 views, 693 views, 727 views. In other words, it's 27. No consistency necessarily to what we're 25K. What we're looking at respective to how people might prioritize. This is a mix. This is like a shuffle that we're looking at here. And basically, there's the no kings. Now, when I did this before, brought that up faster. But it's important to understand 5 views. It's important to understand where this all goes, because before, when I was doing this, it was asking me, did you mean this or did you mean that? And it's kind of interesting the way it does this. Now, if we go over here and I type in the name exact right there, it doesn't want to do much. So when you hit it, it puts it at the top. Okay, going, okay, well, maybe that's a good, but now before what it was doing, see, now it's not doing before, it was saying, well, did you mean no King's Day, separating all of the stuff? By the way, this is a separate throw. You might notice the order's different. 7 hours ago, 2.3K, 68K. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that's coming up differently. 48K. You're seeing a whole bunch of stuff. So this is one of those things where if you look at it, 131 views, 2.5K, 688. There's 807, 4K. This is a shuffle. Is what you're seeing is a big shuffle, and then it ends. It says no more results on that one. So the other way, it gave a bigger list. If we hit channel, it takes us to this channel. Now, if we go to short, what we're seeing here is the one single short. That's it. Boom. That's the whole thing. If you go to videos, that's one I just searched out and put up, and it happens to be a recording from the reverse side of me searching for gubernatorial candidate. And that's where we're going to see this doing something.
Mr. O'Neill, they had an extremist file webpage, didn't they?
Oh, we'll have to do this again.
To spiral out of control.
So there's the ding-dong from when the other recording started. And that's the basic stats. And if we do this, and we do this, we can get it bigger. So you can see how it's showing the way the logic is on this. See how stuff is not coming up? It's not keying. It's not keying on the auto search. There's a reason for that. Okay, here we're doing something, and see the way it keys? You'll notice that the other ones seem to have more accuracy compared to this one. So we're talking about gubernatorial candidate here versus no King's Day. Okay, now it says, did you mean gubernatorial this and that? So now all of a sudden what we're seeing is this huge long list of gubernatorial candidates. And by the way, if you look at them, there's a whole bunch of candidates that are eliminated. They're not in there. There's over 300 candidates. And as you go down through these long lists, you're not seeing certain candidates. They're flat out being blacklisted from being on the list. This is a problem because in between elections, people declare whether they're running or not, which means when people type in stuff, there are people out there who are declared candidates. It doesn't populate. That means the free, unimpeded access of information has been blocked. Blacklisting. So we have parties who are trying to control and arrange elections. By the way, that's called election rigging. That's also considered partially along the lines of article violations if you have additional information to basically put with it, like I do. I have additional information to put with it. So as we see this, we're looking at this situation involving how the different ways things are listed, and we're seeing that different numbers do not necessarily follow any particular logical pattern other than, oh, it's been decided in a back room, we're going to do it this way. So you have Google wants to do it their way, but the federal government says, by the way, you're busted numerous times, okay? But the state of California is different. It oversights things more than any other state, okay? So the state of California oversights this, and they interject. They order Google. They order X.com. They order different parties to do things certain ways. You know, so it's kind of interesting that way. Now, that guy, top of the list, big, huge RV, very expensive, big RV. Okay, so now we hit the channel, and you can see there's 300 and some odd videos, almost 400 videos listed at gubernatorial candidate. See right there, 375, but only 11 subscribers. Michael Crosby, gubernatorial candidate. Now, this is going to get really dicey because we're looking at repeated evidence of black. See the number of views, You post something, and it decides to give a certain number of views allowed, or it blocks you. Which means, here's the thing, it actually reads the content of your material and it blacklists you. If it doesn't like what you're saying, it will blacklist you. If you're saying that something that people in government would view are negative, it doesn't matter that you're coming up with legitimate, actionable information and evidence. They're interpreting it as negative, saying, no, you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to tell the truth. You're not allowed to tell the truth to the voters. That's what they're saying. Okay, that's more than election rigging. That's a coup. That's a coup. When they're doing that, that's a coup. See, this is where I have something that's way different. I have actionable evidence and information. I filed in to do legal actions. I filed various types of paperwork. Bonta, Julie Sue. Now, here's a comparison right here. We've slowed it down.
need to be the case, but there's a blight break the glass scenario, and there's many people that have a deep understanding of what it would look like if Democrats were locked down. We're gonna do everything to make sure that doesn't happen. We all have age.
Okay, here's another one. This one's called Gavin Go, Gavin Spoon, Gavin Gavin. Now, you can see right here we're affecting the speed. Now, the idea is to give you an idea of an understanding of his psychological situation. Yeah, we all have agencies. Okay, so if you listen real close, you can hear
Ladies and gentlemen,
different words.
let's talk about it. Gavin Newsom having a nervous breakdown, having psychotic breaks. He's snapping. A lot of people we just showed have different theories. Well, I know a whole lot more about the situation than a lot of people may think. A whole lot more. We have a situation that involves.
So you pay attention to the views, the number of views, because the system is deciding how many people it will allow to look at your stuff, for instance. This also deals with people who are typing things that are looking for stuff. We showed that in the beginning. People typing, looking for stuff, are being blocked.
The whole thing.
So I showed in the recording how looking for gubernatorial candidate and people couldn't find me. Now keep in mind, before these other people stepped up to the plate, before they stepped up to the bat, I was already in existence. Yes, I was already in existence as a gubernatorial candidate, continuing. Which means they were blacklisting me. And they've been doing that for years. And you can't blacklist people. You cannot impede the free flow of information. I'm also an archiver, and I also deal with national security. That means when they're blacklisting me, they're negatively affecting the business. And it's not just around politics. They're doing it in other areas. They're attacking, they're committing mass economic sabotage. It's not a game. Voters, this is not a game.
And if they're involved at the highest levels, the treason levels, they're facing the death penalty.
Again, this is not a game.
This is not a game. It's not a game. The last thing that certain Democrats in California want to occur is scrutiny. They are desperate.
So we have these people doing their No King's Day stuff. But here we're witnessing the actions of a dictatorship, of rigged elections, of dictatorships, of socialist communist style governments, oppressing the people, committing genocide.
And I know some of you are upset. Some of you are already, I guarantee you, some of you are upset. When you hear this, I know there's a lot of people. They're going to be like yelling at their screen and stuff, and like, yeah, no duh, yeah, and they're upset because they already know they're victims. They know. They're upset. Okay.
All right, I'm going to pause it here and go to the next recording segment.